All right, we are live. Excuse me. Cough came right as I hit the live button. Hope y'all are doing well tonight. Welcome to Tuesday Night Gun Chat. If you hadn't seen one of these before, basically you ask your questions or give me a subject to talk about. We'll talk about it for a little bit, and then we will make sure that we answer all your questions. And of course, your questions, the answers you get are worth exactly what you pay for it. And if you give a super chat, the answers I give that you get. Oh, sorry, I was on the live stream on my phone too. There, if you give a super chat, then the answers that you get are probably worth less than what you paid for it. So, all that being said, thanks to everybody who's watching. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. Thanks to Arkin for sending out a scope recently. They're pretty cool. I got a video review on that. Thanks to Natchez Shooting Supplies, who sent out some 308 supplies to go along with the massive amount of 308 we've been reloading. And then, let's see. Thanks to Arctic Ammo and Reloading for some help with the Garmin chronograph. And so I was able to get that, and I appreciate my Patreon members. That's kind of what the Patreon membership for the year bought, was the Garmin chronograph. I only make about $22 a month on Patreon, guys. I have more money than that coming in, but I also send some out to other creators that I support. So I make about $22 a month on Patreon. So anyway, guys, make sure you, if you're interested in all that, don't forget, we just released a short, which hasn't really taken off yet. They usually take off pretty well. Put your name in the chat and say hi so that I can shout you out. I like to shout out the chat and make sure everybody is saying hi and doing that. That'd be great. All right. So let's go ahead and shout out the chat here. Got Justin Perriman. Funas, my buddy spent a couple of years in boxes of 300 WSM ammo for $120 and still can't get it to group. Finally brought it to me. Can come to find out he's got a vintage Redfield scope on there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Although my dad's rifle grouped with a Redfield on there for that. I think he's going to be nice. Bit of difference in his groups with a 3 to 5 degree, 15 degrees Zeiss on there instead. Yeah. Yeah. One box. There we go. And yeah, don't forget my AD page and my latest short there. Yep. Lab right over will work, but yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Hey y'all, what's up? G23 is in the house. Ken Bean, maker of the best hardcast bullets in the nation. So Ken, aren't they a brittle harness? I've been telling everybody they're a brittle harness of 2122. So for those of you that don't know, CM&G sent me to review the Banshee. I can't pick it up right here; it's right next to me. But they sent me to review the Banshee to review, which is awesome. And I couldn't get Underwood Hardcast to group in it. And Underwood Hardcast had a brittle harness of like 15 or 16, maybe 17, depending on which lot number they got. And the rifling in the Banshee just like screws it up and it throws it every which direction. The Ken's Hardcast that I hand loaded with his load of 10.3 grains of blue dot that I loaded absolutely was much more accurate than the Underwood. The Underwood's like an 18-inch group at 50 yards because it was just throwing them everywhere. It's like it was tumbling or it like the bullets were getting too soft and chipped. But Ken's hardcast bullets, 2 inches, one flyer at that was my fault at 50 yards. So is what it is. What's up? That's my 2 cents. I like that name. That's a good name. Alvaro Aguera, what's up, dude? Trad bow time with Uncle Dan. What's up, Uncle Dan? Man, a long time no see. I'm gonna need to give you a call. Hey, you want to come caribou hunt up here with me? I'm looking for somebody to go caribou hunting with me up here. Can you still carry a 50, 60-pound pack? And we won't carry any meat out on our back. I promise. Okay, we got pack rafts. Okay. Good evening. I'm glad to catch this bench chat. This isn't my bench chat. This is my formal chat. I'm not doing anything while reloading. I'm paying attention to you guys. This is my Tuesday night formal chat. But yeah, bench chats are when I'm just like is what it is. Teachers can now carry. Cool. In your state, that's awesome. Yep. Yeah. So I mean, ideally, we wouldn't have gun-free zones. and anybody's Second Amendment rights would not be infringed upon by the school, the post office, the church, whatever place, public place they designate, right? Um, Ideally. But let's take that and say our teachers can now carry is a win, because I'm a school teacher and my Second Amendment rights are being denied every single day. And if somebody came into my school wanting to do something bad, I would have no defense on them but to run. All right. And I'm fat and old, so I'm not getting outran. There we go. So, I might be taking one for the team there. So yeah, before I shut down my Patreon, I was making $12 a month after funding other creators. There you go. And creators that are good creators like Mac and stuff that rely solely on Patreon or almost solely on Patreon, like, I don't blame them. Like, to do that. If I'm not good enough for you guys to support on Patreon, don't support me on Patreon. If you don't like my videos that well, or you don't think I'm worth $1 a month or something like that, or $2 a month, the YouTube money is so up and down. By the end of the year, the YouTube advertising money is like six, seven, $800 a month, but then it takes a dip at the beginning of the year and is not as good anymore. And you have to work back up to it. It just seems like the views are that way. Like the algorithm resets itself every year. So kind of is what it is. So yeah, David, I'm glad your teachers can now carry though. So what is up, David Thompson? What's up, my Alaskan friend? How you doing? Daniel Ravenstar, did I miss you? Where you at? Rosebud, Oregon at the moment. There you go. Good evening from North Idaho. What is up, Hunter Kirk? Can I be the camp cook? Yeah, if you want to hike in 5 miles, 6 miles, sure. Win, Chuck. I can carry a 100-pound pack walking backwards. Oh, dang. All right, man. July 28th through August 10th. You got my number, Uncle Dan. Give me a call. What's up, Keith Reese? How's Georgia? How's my former state doing? How y'all doing down there? Head on, Keith. Let's see here. Where are all the trolls at? The trolls only come on that vertical live stream they do. So with your phone, they have a live stream where you do it vertical now, and it shows up in the shorts. And so anybody that's scrolling through the shorts can come on your live stream. So kind of is what it is. All right. Yeah, trolls don't fare well in here. Yeah, what's up, Raw Toe here? Yeah, I will call you, Chuck. Okay, there we go. Okay, just bought a Ruger LCR and 357. Any thoughts on 38 special versus 357 for CCW loads? I would always go 357. I don't think you can have too much power. And in that short barrel, um, did you get the 2 or 1 3/4 inch barrel, or did you get the 3 inch barrel? But in that short barrel, I don't see why. I mean, if you miss them, the flame out the front is going to burn them to death. So kind of is what it is. I'm kidding about that, guys. That's a joke. So anyway, yep. Well, I just told you the date. That's my 2 cents. Are you here in Alaska? Where are you from? That's my 2 cents. I like that. I like that name. That's my 2 cents. I like it. All right. In Oregon's teachers can carry if the district allows it. Most teachers in Southern Oregon. Yeah. I mean, technically here, if the school district supervisor or superintendent allows it, we can carry too, but none of them have ever allowed it. So I wish my knees would let me do that. Seriously, wish my knees would let me do that. Yeah, you, Uncle Dan, you'd be the older of us too, and you'd be like, "Come on, you 87-year-old whippersnapper!" Like that's my body is. I'm in Michigan. Okay, cool. Good hunting there though. We are doing great. Staying away from Atlanta. There you go. Hello from Idaho. What's up, Jake? How you doing? Had some I'm assuming joint issues about 3 or 4 years back. I started eating right and working out, and now I'm good to go in the best shape of my life at 59 years old. There you go, brother. Hillbilly Up Alive just got shot down for no reason, I see. I don't know anything about him, so. 1.87 barrel, but with 38 special, it feels pretty snappy already. I haven't tried 357 yet. Just ordered brass to try it out. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna feel snappy. I mean, small revolvers are snappy revolvers. I did not know this. Take your feet per second divided by 1.42. That's the conversion to miles per hour. Cool. Not bad. Just watched Jurassic Park with my daughter. How's your night? Doing good. Doing good. We're talking gun stuff here on the internet. So what's up, man? Gabriel, how you doing? So get your questions in. Again, this is a question and answer show. Your questions, my answers, that kind of thing. But yeah, make sure you get your questions in. Talk about some things. We're really trying to fight hard the red flag law up here. They've got it's Senate Bill 229 if you live in Alaska. So make sure you call in and tell your senators you are not in favor of the bill. So all good there. All right, not sure if you're a Contender and Encore fan, but I'm not going to get my hopes up since Greg Ritz brought Thompson back, center back recently. Yeah, I like them, but they don't always work right. Like the 41 Magnum, my cameraman guy was using, just didn't work out very well. So is what it is. What's up, Hudge76? There you go. Yeah, TC is back. Yeah, the company's back. Show your support, smash those likes, appreciate it. Just picked up a Savage Axis in 308. What kind of results can I expect as far as accuracy goes? Never owned a 308. Well, I mean, obviously the rifle is more or less accurate than the cartridge, right? So like a 308 is accurate. You got to find what your rifle likes. I would start with 150 grain. I would start with the cheapest 147 grain full metal jacket you can, and I would break in that barrel. I would shoot clean till you get a shoot clean for the first 20 rounds. Takes you all afternoon. Then shoot clean every 3 rounds for the next 20 rounds, and then you're reasonably broke in, and you can start grouping. I think it makes a great. I think it makes a great thing. So good. All right, my question, Chuck, up there in the backcountry, what is your choice of handgun caliber and ammo? I generally carry my Smith & Wesson 5-inch 629. Not always, but that's what I generally carry. And I use the 255 grain Buffalo Bore Keith Gas Check Hardcast load. It's a great load, and it penetrates just as deep as the 340 plus P plus. And it's I think it's just a great load, and it's going to be hard to beat there. And plus, I've gotten to the point where I can draw fire and hit a target like this, so I'm hoping I'll be okay on a fairly close grizzly bear. I often will carry my Glock 20 as well. If my wife will let me have it back, I'd carry the Glock Model 40. Sometimes I'll carry the Glock 29. It also depends on my pack. My herbalist stock pack has a holster on the outside, or just a cheap Blackhawk Serpa holster. But that works great in the wilderness as a wilderness holster. It's terrible concealed carry holster, but because it's so thick. But it's a great wilderness holster, and you just stick it in there, and it's on my pack. So that's what we did last year. But typically, I carry my Glock 29 and my 629. Both of those are what I carry most of the time. So. Roughly. It really depends on the density of the atmosphere at the time, how high up you are, how low you are, rain, anything like that can make a big difference. Hit the likes. Thank you. Appreciate it. When sighting in, do you follow the bullet or do you go the opposite way? Sorry for all these questions, but I have not had a sighting rifle in a very long time. So if I'm at 100 yards and my target is my bullet is hitting 3 inches to the right and 6 inches high, I'm going to move it 6 inches down and 6 inches to the left. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because you don't chase the bullet, you don't follow the bullet. So is what it is. And why subsonic ammo always under 1050? That's because the speed of sound varies so much. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's this at this temperature, at this density of the atmosphere, at this elevation, cause which also does the density. That's why they're giving themselves like a 75 feet per second buffer zone. So it is what it is. What's the best nozzle caliber in your opinion? Probably the 28. Yeah, probably the 28. How you doing, Lance Pugh? It's good to see you. All right, 180 green, Buffalo Bore hardcast, stout load, 357 Magnum. There you go. Yeah, I love the Buffalo Bore hardcast and 357 Magnum. When I carry my 357 Magnum, that's what I carry. So 31 in the room, 33 now, and only 19 likes. We're better than that. Chem Metal Guy USA, I appreciate you. What are y'all talking about? Yeah, this is a good way to think of it. Pretend you are moving the bullet strike. At trad bow time with Uncle Dan, I carry a Smith & Wesson 460. It gives me the ability to shoot cheaper rounds for practice and keep the bear killers loaded up for hunting or berry picking. There you go. Hey, Joshua, we should go berry picking sometime. I know a spot if you're willing to travel to the Denali Highway during caribou season. Of course, they'll shut down the caribou season up there because of the population this year. But if you're willing to travel up there, like late August, I know a spot. It does. Thank you. You're welcome. Cool. Yeah. Took it out. Decided last weekend, and I could not get a consistent group. My shots were all over the place. I'm thinking it was the ammo or a hot barrel. Yeah. Yeah. The other thing is, especially when it's not a big bull barrel that's fluted, um, you want to wait at least 3 minutes between shots before that barrel's broken in, and you want to shoot clean for the first. And you can still do that and get the barrel broken in, even if you shot 20 or 30 rounds last weekend. Like I did that to my 6.5 284, and it's the most accurate rifle I have. It's a Savage 111, like one of their cheaper ones. So, and it shot a big moose this year, and it's nowhere near as powerful as your 308. So, well, I wouldn't say nowhere near. It shoots a 127 grain bullet about 3,000, and you can get about 3150 with that 308 in a TTSX. So, yeah, Barnes makes it. I happen to have a box here that Reloading Weatherby sent me of 130 grain TTSX. So, kind of is what it is there. I was going to say what caribou season. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hey, maybe we can go up during moose season. You got four wheelers? I was planning on going to hunt the Denali Highway during moose season this year, simply because I know where some bulls were hanging out about 3 or 4 years ago that weren't quite legal. So I'm seeing if anybody got them. But it is in the non-motorized zone, so we'd have to like walk in and pack raft out. But I've hunted caribou in this place and gotten three in this exact spot, so I've seen moose there all the time, so might be worth it. Let me know. You got my email, probably my phone number. So let me know. That would be if we do want to do that Labor Day weekend. If you got any plans? I usually take one day off before Labor Day weekend and one day off after. And that way I have 5 days to hunt or so. Um What's your sighting process for a new scope look like? I currently use a couple of bags, but it makes it harder to tell the trigger puller or the bags sometimes. I always use a bipod. I find I'm steadier on a bipod than bags in the front, and I use bags in the back to support the rear. And you can get really steady that way. Um, and then I again shoot clean, shoot clean, shoot clean. If I'm breaking in the barrel, if it's just a new scope, I usually put a target at 25 yards. It's huge, one of those 1 foot targets or something. See where it's hitting. And then depends on where I'm at. I have one range that I go to that's two of them that slightly slopes downhill. If it does that, I will sight it in dead on at 25 yards. And then I'll see where it hits at 100. I have another one that's slightly uphill, and if it does that, I sight it on about an inch, inch and a half low, depending on the bullet speed. Maybe 2 inches low if it's going over 3,000, 3,100 feet per second, and that will translate into being almost dead on. Oh, excuse me, at 100 yards. So that's kind of what I do. Good question. That was a good question. Yeah. Yes, with using suppressors with subs while hunting pigs at night, I have to watch all the elements to stay silent so I won't scare off the hogs in the surrounding area. There you go. Would you take the 28 nozzler over the 7 millimeter rum? I believe I would. First of all, right now I have seen ammo on the shelf recently for 28 nozzler. I have not seen it for 7 millimeter rum. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I mean, either one of them is a hand loading caliber. The 28 nozzler, if I'm not mistaken, is the fastest 7 millimeter currently. I believe it does outpace the rum just a little bit. It's not the 30 nozzler is not the fastest 30 cal. It's still beat by the 3378, but kind of is what it is. Cool. What I like about the 10 millimeters, the extra ammo and less recoil in G40. 16 rounds of Underwood or Buffalo Bore would work. If not, like fighting Comanche, save the last round for yourself. There you go. Yeah. Hey, no, if you come up here, Uncle Dan, you can give me a call right when the show's done. If you come up here, yeah, bring your 10 millimeter. I am not worried about if that's what you bring, if it of it being powerful enough. I shoot my 40. I bring my 44 because on the long hiking tricks, it's less ammo to carry and it's less to keep up with, and less likely to get dirt and grime and stuff in it and that kind of thing. So I like my 44 for that reason, but kind of is what it is. 357 Magnum Buffalo Bore 180 Crane Hardcast, 1,800 feet plus per second. Marlin, 1894 and 18-inch barrel. There you go. That's about 300 feet per second more than I was getting in my 6-inch barrel G40. I'm gonna just type in the energy of right now, if you don't mind. That has me a little curiosity. So, in case y'all are wondering, those of you that don't know, most of you probably know this now. The formula to find energy, foot pounds of energy, um, is your feet per second squared. So in this case, 1,800 times 1,800 times the bullet weight in grain. So in this case, 180. Okay. And then all divided by the constant, which is 450,240. And yeah, that's about right. I forgot to 450,240. 1,295 foot pounds. That's not bad for a handgun caliber rifle. So just need to move to a region that gives me subsistence hunting rights. I do have a 4-wheeler. Yeah, I don't yet. I'm hoping to get one, but I don't know. And there you go. Up here in Canada, if the zone is off limits, folks just pair up with an indigenous outfitter to bypass those regulations. Oh, there you go. Are they coded? So yeah, yeah. The Underwoods are. Nosler makes a great 3.0 diameter tip. My 300 Win Mags loves them. Very accurate. Yeah, they do. They make good bullets. Thoughts on chronographs? Any go-to chronographs? I like the magneto speed for rifles, but I can't. But I can see why people like the new Garmin unit. The new Garmin unit is the bee's knees. I just got one thanks to Arctic Ammo and Reloading in Wasilla here, and they helped me out with one a little bit. Okay, I still purchased it. They gave me some stuff. Anyway, I got to shout them out every time I use it, so I'm cool with that. Anyway, I shout them out anyway. So anyway, the Garmin is just amazing. It's easy to set up. It's easy to use. It's just amazing how easy it is to use. You don't have to shoot over it. You get to shoot next to it. I took mine out the other night and just worked like that. I was getting good velocities. I just used it on the short. So if you scroll all the way back up in the chat, you can see me use it on the short there. So it's pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty nice. 7 PRC is nice, but the factory offerings are selling it short. Powder availability is killing a lot of Hornady's recipes. Right now, they are using the competition's Winchester Stayball HD powder. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I plan on start hand loading up some 7 PRC here in a minute. I still have Chuke's rifle. Almost 200 in the box advertised. Yeah, we've been talking about that. Reloading Weatherby has documented a lot about that. So make sure you go check out the Reloading Weatherby channel. So I'm going to text him now. Let him know I've shouted him out like 4 times in this chat already. Yeah, just text him. Been shouting you out tonight, and tonight's chat's come join now if you can. Shoot, David. Reloading Weatherby has kind of convinced me that 7mm PRC is not all it's hyped up to be. Yeah, there you go. What is up, CW? Long shot. How you doing? Man, I still feel bad. I have not pulled your bullet. I feel awful. Not pulled your bullets out of the garage. I put the box because it was so heavy. So, oh, there he is to say hi. We were just talking about them. Speaking of the devil, yeah.
And the devil will appear.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. See, I think Lance Pugh just mentioned you. Reloading Weatherby has kind of convinced me that the 7mm PRC is not all it's hyped up to be. Yeah, Austin and I have been a smart budding each other, smart Alec on each other's channel, just talking about, oh, I don't think you're giving wrote on my channel, I don't think you're giving the 7mm PRC a fair chance. Or so, what did you say? I don't like the language you're using about it.
I don't like the tone of your 7 PRC smack.
There you go. Yeah. So.
No, it's a good cartridge. Just it's not what it's hyped up to be in factory ammo. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's a good cartridge. Has some nice advantages over, 7mm Remington Magnum, but is what it is. Yeah, Joshua Grantland here is. Have you got to play with the new Garmin chronograph yet?
I haven't. Something I need to do.
You will throw away your magneto speed. You'll just trash it.
I don't really like my magneto speed. It's what I have.
There you go. Like I said, you'll trash it. So last Sunday night, I was using it. I was filming at the range the North Fork bullets, the 165s and 308. And I was able to set up my chronograph next to me and just worry about shooting a group. Not having to worry about attach it to the end or line up my chronograph with the target, which I've gone out there several times and, couldn't get it quite lined up and it wasn't a ceasefire. You know what I mean? And so I'd have to try it again on the next ceasefire. And then it started hailing on me and snowing on me. And I decided to get out of there. So, I've done that. So the Garmin, you can just set on the table right next to you. If you shoot slow, it's very reliable. If you're trying to plink fast, it's going to miss a bunch of them. But that's the only thing I can say about it. So,
yeah, you don't have to worry about shooting your chronograph too.
Yeah, which I have done.
I have done too. I've done it just recently, so now I'm down to 1 chronograph.
There you go. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah. Let me. I'll call you afterwards and see if you'd be willing to do any of this. So it's yeah, I'll talk to you about the Garmin chronograph anyway afterwards. So yep.
Yeah, handloading will wake it up.
Sierra Gang King tops. Everyone reloading needs to try them tips. My favorite hunting round. Drop anything. If they're not a bonded ballistic tip, I don't want to use them. I'm not saying you can't drop anything with them. It's just
it's just a cup and core bullet.
Yeah, if it's a cup and core bullet, no bigger than deer. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was saying is like if you hand load it, you can wake it up.
Do you like the Caldwell Chrono for a cheap one just to test factory ammo? It works. Like it generally works, but I've also bought like 3 or 4 of them because they just stop working. the sun has to be in the perfect position. And so this time of year, when you got to remember, we're up north, and technically, we're leaning towards the sun. So the sun's at this weird angle all day long, and
Hmm.
it rises in the northeast and sets in the south, or excuse me, in the northwest right now. So like getting the angle on your chronograph up here, awful. So I honestly like Cheeseburger XJ. Email me at AlaskanBallistics@gmail.com. I'll ship you my old Caldwell right now. I might have two of them somewhere. I might have two of them. They're done. They're done. Like I might ship you one, and the other one I'm gonna let Chook shoot since he shoots chronographs pretty easily. So that would be a great intro to like my review of the Garmin chronograph. What do you think? Let Chook
Just
shoot it.
getting rid of them, getting rid of the other ones.
Yeah, be like, okay, Chook, this is your first time shooting on my chronograph. Don't shoot it. Boom, and he shoots, busts it right there. And I'm gonna be like, now you got to buy me the Garmin, Chook. What do you think? What do you think? That's a good intro.
Yeah, it's a good way to get a free chronograph.
Yeah. So, yes, I do think they're beneficial for pistol shooters. So especially if you're testing like your stuff in ballistics gel, or even redneck testing, like the pork shoulders and water bottles, like I do a lot on the channel. Like you need to know the speed that it's going. You need to know that impact velocity. So it is what it is. But yeah. Oh, here's a good question. I'll let you tackle this one, Austin.
I have personal preference for the 280 Ackley Improved. The 7 PRC is more powerful, but I just really like the 280 AI. Personal
So
preference.
when I shot Chook's 280 AI, it was a carbon fiber barrel, Savage lightweight, or what do you call it? The Savage ultralight or whatever they call
Ultralight.
it now. Yeah, it didn't kick at all. It
Wow.
was a 162 grain bullet. Now, granted, it wasn't going that fast because it's a 22-inch barrel instead of a 24. Like every 7mm needs at least a 24. But you know, if you don't mind, like between 7mm 08 and 7 PRC velocities, 280 Ackley Improved is a good round. And I'm sure with like I'm trying to convince Chook, hey, since it's a shorter barrel, let's load that up with a 139 grain Barnes LRX. Get you 3,000 feet per second in that barrel, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I killed a caribou at 459 yards with that bullet in a factory load. So they chronographed about 3250 on one video. Same lot number, different place. They chronographed over 34 because I was in a higher elevation.
Nice.
So is what it was. So great question though.
Right now. But the bag of chips is gone and the bag of pretzels is gone. And one freaking
7 PRC is like a 270.
Not quite.
I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh. But Joshua knows how I feel about the 270, I'm sure. So yeah, it looks like Reloading Weatherby had to go for a second there. Reloading Weatherby, we got to test my 264 Win Mag someday for a vid. There we go. Austin, do you think 9mm HST 124 grain or 115 grain flat nose plus P plus out of a 4-inch barrel would be better for black nose? I think the 147 grade hard cast plus P would be better out of a 4-inch barrel. I've not really done a test on the 9mm barrel loads. That's coming. That's in the works. I have all the ammo to test, but that's in the work. But I'm thinking should be that. So there you go. 26 thumbs up. Woohoo! Love your AR-15s, America. Appreciate it. Yep. Trying to strap a magnetic speed on a suppressor is a pain in the butt. Oh, I bet that is, man. I feel like my 264 Win Mag is like a 270 lately. Yeah, so I feel like the 264 Win Mag was way underloaded. When I go back and look at factory velocities and I go back and look at modern 6.5 PRC velocities, I'm thinking it was way underloaded. Yes, Rich. I think this is a great question. Absolutely, yes. It will lead to better technology moving forward. Yeah, so it is what it is. Tim, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat. I don't know if I've seen you before or not. 165 grain AccuBonds and 300 Win Mag for elk. So the only experience I have with AccuBonds, I was loading in 30-06. I was loading 180 grain because I was trying to copy a factory round. I didn't get it quite as accurate as a factory round. I had a 22-inch barrel. It was for a 24-inch barrel was the load data. It's supposed to be going 2650 with that powder, and it was only going 2588. I shot the caribou, a small bull, at 280 yards, and that bullet did not open up at all. So I think if AccuBonds are the way you want to go, I think you've got the right idea. So lots of speed, 165 grain. So that, and lots of speed. I mean, if you have a 24 or 26-inch barrel, 300 Win Mag, there's no reason why you can't get 3,200 feet per second in a 165 grain, or at least 3,150. Depending on where you want your accuracy at. So I think you've got the right idea. Reloading 165 grain AccuBonds and 300 Win Mag for elk. So I think that's good. We're getting on a Feedavory 560 Barnes LRX load ATM. Hey, Funis, let me know how that works out. Yeah, the LDX groups well, but yeah, Cup and Core, yeah, they're terrible on game. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I agree with you, David Thompson. Shot placement's more important, and bullet construction is more important. So, if you have a 200 grain Cup and Core, as well, that's better than a 150 grain Cup and Core, but a 150 grain TTSX is better than a 200 grain TTSX. In fact, I would even take that reloading Witherby sent me here. I would even take these 130 grain TTSX over a 200 grain Cup and Core. I think bullet construction is more important than what do you call it? Sorry, bullet construction is more important than grain weight any time of the day. Sorry, I'm thinking about it. Let's go. Thank you. I want to post some videos in it, so I'll tag you in it. Yeah, it'll be a couple weeks because I always forget things. But yeah, I think I'm missing a poll for the sunshades or something. So I'll send what I got. But yeah, you can have it. Yeah. Definitely get you a camera that's on the chronograph and set it up like I do, where you can have picture in picture. So you might need some new editing software for that if it doesn't do it. So. Seems as though we must need to dedicate a rifle to solids and not mix jacket with it, with what Backfire and Ron found. Yeah, there's definitely some of that. Teddy Two Guns, one of the channel members. Thank you very much. Still at work. I got promoted to EHS. It's sweet, dude. Nice. I still use a cheap Pro Chrono for my velocities. It works well enough for string spread and standardization. Yep, they do. There you go. Sweet. Yeah, that proof barrel is that. 6.5 Creedmoor, 260 Remington. Now, this is a good question. If it's just pure hunting purposes, 260 Remington, and you're a hand loader. If it's target and even though the 260 Remington is a little bit more powerful, I would definitely say I would go to the 6.5 Creedmoor. And the reason why, and I own 4 6.5 Creedmoors, you can find ammo. Ammo's everywhere. Rifles are everywhere. Magazines are everywhere. 260 Remington, which should use the same magazines and stuff, but like, you get my point. Is like, can you find the ammo? But if you're a hand loader and you have brass and stuff like that, so the PRC cartridges and the Creedmoor cartridges, they do a couple of advantages that regular cartridges don't do. So, for example, here's a 300 Winchester Magnum. Okay, all right. At the top here, this is those North Fork 180 grain bullets. I'm trying another load. At the top here, the inside of the case mouth is .308. but the inside of the neck here, you can almost see it. The inside of the neck here is 0.315. So when that bullet sits down in there, okay, all right, there's a little bit of wobble between the top of the neck and the bottom of the neck where it starts to hit the shoulder, okay? The Creedmoor and the PRC line of cartridges correct that, okay? So you have a little bit of that, say, with 308. It's not always as pronounced as 0.308 to 0.315, but the 260 Remington being a case based off the 308 will have a little bit of that. And that's what it is straight all the way down for great bullet seal and pressure on the bullet from the casing, case neck strength pressure. The right word is beyond me at the moment, but tension, case. Sorry, I just sprayed that word all over the internet. Tension, case neck tension. So that, yeah, you're going to get better case neck tension, less bullet down into the powder with 6.5 Creedmoor. All those things make for a more accurate round and long range experience. That's that. Yeah, it can make a difference in velocity. It doesn't have to be that much elevation. That was only about probably only about 1,000 feet. 270 is Chuck's favorite round. Yeah, 270 is a great ladies caliber. So it's like 30-06 for women. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, all you people out there. Okay, well, I'm not, because I hate the 270, but you know what I mean. If you use it, that's fine. Yeah, good. There you go, 280 Remington. I always wanted one. Can I carry the Shoemaker 9mm Buffalo Bore very effectively? There you go. You can go ahead. What's up, Trigger Bar Philosopher? How you doing? Yes, I have seen differences. It depends all on the thickness of the brass, though. It has nothing to do with whether it's nickel or brass. I've seen some that I get more velocity in the nickel, and I've seen some that I get less velocity in the nickel. So, it is what it is. So, you there, Reloading Weatherby? You there? It looks like he hasn't come back in yet. Cool. There we go. There he is. Avoid the Accubon long range with that thing if you're going to hit under 100 yards. Never seen more damage on a hind quarter before. Why'd you shoot it in the hind quarter? No, I get that. I've actually tested it in both 6.5 PRC, 6.5 284 Norma. No, I haven't tested the 6.5 PRC, but I've tested it in a couple different calibers, and I say it does really well. So, all right, Austin's back. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Okay, how's it going? You are muted.
Sorry, I had my wife was threatening me, so I didn't want to show that the live chat.
Oh, I appreciate that, especially with like red flag laws trying to pass up here. You know, it'd be bad.
Nah.
And so if you live in Alaska, call your senators about Senate Bill 229 or 229. So cool. Yeah, Brian, we're gonna or Hudge 76. Sorry, I didn't mean to say your name out loud. We're going to go shoot those one day. That's gonna be fun. So just did a video on my friend's 6.5 by 7 PRC Wildcat. Interesting take on the 7mm. It's a 6.5 PRC necked up to 7 PRC. Aren't all 7 PRCs necked up? 6.5 casings? Or is it neck down 300 casings? Reason up there, Austin. I'm asking you. Let me ask.
You have to flip it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're roboting pretty bad there. Let's see. Where does the 7mm PRC case come from? Yeah. Okay, the 7mm precision rifle cartridge case comes from the 300 PRC case, which in turn comes from the 375 Ruger cases. Okay, Hornady made the 7mm PRC by reducing the neck of the 300 PRC case. Okay, so the parent case is the 7mm PRC is the 375 Ruger, which is a great cartridge. So is what it is. All right, let's see if he's back.
No,
There he is. I can see him chewing.
it's just not. No, look. Where's the smaller one?
264 Win Mag, another new cartridge, and Winchester wants in on the 6.5 PRC. 264 Win Mag is a old cartridge. It's like a dead cartridge. It's been out. Yeah, I agree. We should do that. So, hey man, you back?
Sorry, apparently I'm having internet issues. It's not my wife this
Yeah, I
time.
can see that. Well, I mean, if she's beating you between every time you get on and off, I mean, you know, the media. So, what is your guess of the feet per second of that caribou hit? I really don't know. I need to look that up. Let me see. Do I still have the Nikon app on here? So, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I above 2,000 feet per second for sure. 459 yards, 3,300.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can. You're freezing up every once in a while. .44 Magnum. Any noticeable difference between a 5.5-inch barrel and 7-inch? Yeah, you're gonna see probably 150 feet per second difference. Maybe not that much. Maybe 75. Just depends on what ammo you're using, what powder, that kind of thing. You'll get less recoil in the 7-inch. Excuse me, with the same load. So, what does Eric Cortina say? If Lapua doesn't make brass for it, don't bother. Would that extend that to Alpha too? Yeah, I just got some Peterson brass. I've been told Peterson long brass with the 300 Win Mag. So, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Yeah, the 284 Winchester was the first rebated rim case. So it's like the predecessor to the short magnums these days, where the rim of the case is the same as 30-06, 308, 270, 45 ACP. The rim is a case where you can use the same shell holder, and therefore the same bolt. Okay. But you can't, but the case is actually wider, so you can put 50 to 55 grains of powder in it in a short action, as opposed to, with a heavier bullet, as opposed to like that. So I shoot in my main hunting caliber the last few years has been my 6.5 by 284. And that's called the 6.5 by 284 Norma. And that's what it is. It's a 284 Winchester case, neck down to 6.5, put in a long action to extend that bullet out there. So 6.5 PRC versus 6.506, is there a big difference? Yes. So let me just scroll through Hornady's app right here and reloading data. Okay. I need to turn the thing on there. Okay, here we go. 6.5mm 06-06. Select weight. Let's just do a 140 grain bullet. Okay. 6506 has a 140 grain bullet at 2,900 feet per second. That's where it's at. 6506. Okay. If you want to scroll down there, there you go. 6506. Okay. If you go to 65 PRC, sorry, this is going to take a little bit. You can get 3,000 feet per second with a whole lot more of slower burning powders, as you see right there. So it's good stuff. Cool. Nickel wants to crack on the neck. Brass kind's better. I've never seen that. What's up, Hotep? Good to see you. I've got a new inbox Browning BAR 270 with nice tally mounts. I'll sell you. Oh, that'd be great, but I don't need it, unfortunately, and I don't have the money for it right now. So, and I don't think we're allowed to sell them on YouTube, but you can email me about it, AlaskanBallistics@gmail. I'll look at it. Yeah, he's not even in Alaska. He's in Utah. That Mormon church blocking his internet again. He must have done some sins. So, he just texted me, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, the 284 Winchester is a cool caliber. Ron Spomer loves it. Even better, neck down to 6.5 millimeter. Yeah, it's CSIS, CIA for surveillance, eating up all the bandwidth. Good there. Yeah, you are correct. Yep, trigger bar velocity. I looked it up. Blair Witch Bow. All those odd calibers. Good luck on ammo. I got a bunch of it loaded up, buddy. Got a bunch of it loaded up. Looks like he is back, and I see his face moving, so that's good.
I don't know how long it's going to last, but
Yep. Blink twice if you need help. That's more than twice.
so I'm good.
On wildcat cartridge, you make your own, all your own from other brass. Yep. You can't buy it in store. There you go. Or you just, most of the time nowadays, you just order brass if you need it. Like, so I will say Lapua brass. I agree with Fumas or whoever saying Lapua brass has seemed to be the best in my 6.5 by 284. Like, even once fired Lapua brass groups and twice fired Lapua brass groups tighter than once fire or a brand new nozzle brass. So, okay, cool. Yeah, this is a good question. I'm gonna make a video about this. So technically, Peterson makes the 300 Win Mag long brass, and they make it where it headspaces on both the shoulder and the rim, if I'm not mistaken, or at least on the shoulder. It helps the brass last longer, get more reloads, helps for a tighter chamber fit with more accuracy. So I'm hoping that solves my accuracy issues in my 300 Win Mag. That $190 spent doesn't. I'm selling the 300 Win Mag and getting me a different one, because screw an inaccurate rifle. I'll tell you that much. So, but I'm getting between 1.5 and 2 consistently. So that means I'm doing something. Like, there's something I can do. If the rifle is consistent, there's something I can do or find to get it down. So I'm not giving up hope on my Weatherby. So I've texted many profane things about this gun being stupid to Austin here. So is what it is. But yeah, have you tried any like Peterson brass before?
I haven't. There's a rumor though that Weatherby is using Peterson brass, but I don't know how true it is. I've always wanted to try Peterson. I hear it's really good. So
I'll let you know. Went to clean my shield 2.09 millimeter the other day, and it had been sitting for a while. Noticed some of the coating loss in the chamber that has no corrosion. Kind of disappointed to see. Interesting. coating of the barrel or coating of the bullet? If you were required to use a straight walled cartridge in Alaska, which would you pick? Oh, that's easy, 4570. Like, you could load it with a single shot of 300 grain Barnes TTSX, and you could get some distance out of that bad boy. The plus B load and a 300 grain. Like, if you had a nice, well made, heavy single shot 4570, you could load the 300 grain made for the 458 SOCOM tipped boat tail TTSX in that, and that would be a great hunting load. All right, like I think you could easily get 2100, if not 2200 feet per second, and you could therefore, with that big of a bullet and that heavy of a BC, you should be able to get, I don't know, at least 300 yards in the drop easily. When you think also, Austin?
Yeah, that should work. I'm trying to think of another straight walled cartridge that'd be really good, but that's not ridiculous like recoil.
411 Legend.
Okay.
I think the new 400 Legend would be good. I mean, because
Yeah.
it's 10. I'd say you can load it with 10 millimeter pistol bullets. If you don't want recoil, load in that 100 grain Extreme Defender. Get
Yeah.
that 100 grain. That 100 grain Extreme Defender was going over 2,000 feet per second out of my 9-inch barrel. So you put it in a 16-inch barrel and a lot more
Yeah.
powder behind it, or 18-inch barrel. Yeah, you should be getting, with rifle powders behind it. Yeah, you should be getting quite a bit. So. 25-06 is a great round. I've got several videos on it. Y'all should go look at it. So, good question. Not a fanboy for Hornady by any means, but if you hand load a 6.5 Creed with super performance powder, you will approach 6.5 PRC territory. Cool. I'm glad with that, because that's what my hand loads are loaded with. I haven't chronographed them yet.
So, Chuck, I have a friend that has a 24-inch barrel, 6.5 Creedmoor. He's getting 2850 with a 143 grain ELDX. He's not hunting with it, but that's pretty darn fast for a 6.5 Creed and a 140 grain bullet. And he's using super performance.
Yeah, and I think Hornady in the 6.5 Creed actually lists 2800 at the max.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. He likes to push his guns as hard as possible, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's over max.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. In fact, I would expect that. 6.5, where's it at? Creedmoor. Here we go. It's been a while since I've looked at their handloading data. Come on,
I think the thing that helps him a lot is having a 24-inch barrel instead of a 22.
Yeah, and I've got a 24. So I'm going to be doing this one pretty soon. I've got a 20. I've got an 18-inch barrel, 20-inch barrel, 22, 24, and my cameraman's got a 28. So
Whoa.
I was going to do a barrel length velocity test as well with 6.5 Creedmoor. I think that would make an interesting video. All right, select bullet weight, 143 grain.
I believe it says it's 2800 with super performance.
Oh, actually, 2850 is the max listed with the unobtainium powder right there.
Reloader 26.
Yeah, so I've actually bought 2 new pounds of Reloader 22 the other day, or last month or month and a half ago. So
I'm jealous. That's like the magic powder for my Weatherby rifles.
22?
Reloader 22, yeah.
Yeah, well, you'll have to fly up to get some. You have to fly up, load them here, and then go back home with them and bring your factory box so you can carry it on the airplane.
Right. Load them up to your place and then bring them on the airplane with me.
Yeah. You're welcome to do that if you can't find any Reloader 22 powder. You got a plan.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a plan. Chance. Yeah. All right. For a new reloader, loading pistol rounds for target shooting, berry bullets acceptable? Yes. They will start to, they're copper plated, not truly jacketed. So they will start to make your gun dirtier after 400 or 500 rounds. But yes, they're fine. What's your thoughts and experience on the new CX bullets from Hornady? First of all, the 190 grain is the only thing my 300 Win Mag is grouped. By grouped, I mean barely a 1-inch group. maybe 1.1, depending on how you move that. If you count it center hole to center hole, I sent the picture to Austin. So I like it. Based on my so I've done 2 video tests with the Hornady CX. One in 30-06 with a 165 grain, and one in 300 Win Mag with a 165 grain. And to be honest with you, I would use either one of them for anything in North America. It'd be great if they didn't group 2 inches at 100 yards. 1.5 to 2 inches. I would use that 165 grain. This is going 3270 in my rifle or something like that in the winter and 18 degrees. Yeah. So
I don't have any experience with it.
yeah, I like the Hornady CX. It's a good rifle, good round. The bullet is great. The velocities and accuracy in the 7mm PRC are absolute dog crap. But
Well, from what I understand, the outfitter ammo, not many rifles like it.
I was getting 6 inches at 50 yards, and then I threw it at the 7 mag. I was getting 6 inches at 50 yards. It was, I shot the 7 mag at 100. They were just awful. Just make sure to kneel between reloading so the lapua is on the hard side of brass. I'll keep that in mind. I'm one of those people that any step I can save on reloading and save the time, I'll save the time. I don't even trim my brass because most of the time they're not longer than the maximum trim length, and I use mostly brass that shot out of my rifles, so I'm not worried about it. So I'm gonna use non-magnum primers in emergency. 357 has both lose of pressure. Non-magnum, not recommended. Yeah, I would do that. Make sure you get magnum primers. Well, if you get rid of 300 Win Mag, give me the rest of your ammo. Yeah. I would give you stuff that doesn't group well in mine and see if it groups well in yours. Yeah. Let me know, Teddy. You email me. 5090 sharps. There you go. Coating of the barrel almost looked like pitting at first. Gonna douse it in Ballistol and scrub and see what happens. May eventually switch to a P365X macro or something else. There you go. Cool. In semi-spec 300 Win Mag chambers, the throat is speckled very loose. The PRC chambers throats are much tighter. Yes. There we go. And that's not true. There are some marked 4570 plus P. Yep, that's true. Reloading 22 can do it. Oh, excuse me. Factoring loadings of the CX bullet don't do the bullet justice. I agree. And I've got a bunch of 7mm Magnum 150 grain CX to load. I think I'm going to load them in 7mm PRC, even though it's not the high BC bullet or whatever. I have the bullets already, so why not load them in 7mm PRC and see what I can get? Because if out of that 22-inch barrel one that Chook lent me, if I can get 3,000 feet per second with the 150 grain, any decent accuracy, anything better than 6 inches at 50 yards, I might take it up the mountain and hunt black bear with it. You see where Texas's game is killing off hundreds or thousands of deer? Ted Nugent fighting at chronic wasting disease. The deer aren't being infected, all to kill Texas billions of dollars a year hunting. Oh, wow. Hunting business. Wow. I have not seen that. I tore apart a 7mm PRC Outfitter CX. They had loaded it with a compressed load of Stay-Ball HD. Didn't you do some tearing apart of those? Did you tear apart any of those? Yeah.
Yeah, it was all Stay-Ball HD with the Outfitter, and the Precision Hunter was also Stay-Ball HD.
Okay.
Exact same load, actually, from both of them.
Cool.
Funny enough.
Well, yeah, they both supposedly had the same speed. Jake's Factory 72.2 grains of Stable HD. That was their recipe. There you go. Yep.
I got around 71.1 grains with the CX when I pulled it.
Cool. All right, now here's a good question, Tim Lebrat. I'm thinking about rebarreling my 270 WSM to shoot 165. Should I leave it a 270 WSM or do the new 6.8 Western, not 6.5 Western? It's actually a 6.8 Western. I don't know.
They're almost the exact same if you're going to just put a fast twist in the 270 WSM.
Yeah. I mean, a 6.8 Western, the parent case is the 270 WSM, right? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, if you put a fast twist barrel on a 270 WSM, wouldn't you be creating a 6.8 Western?
Kind of. The real difference is that you can seat the bullets. They're designed to seat out further.
Yeah.
Like a 6.5 Creedmoor. That's about the only difference.
Yeah. Well, with that, seating out the bullets further is always a good thing, in my opinion, being able to seat them out further. So I would go 6.8 Western if you were thinking about rebarreling it. I would also just shoot the 165s, and if you live in high elevation, they'll stabilize like Austin does. Oftentimes
They
they'll
will.
stabilize in high.
If you're at sea level, you're going to have issues.
Yeah, like me. But
so ADG is going to be making 6.8 Western brass in July,
that's
like
nice.
giving it to the public. So, because Winchester brass sucks, in my opinion, but
agreed. And I don't mind their pistol brass, but it's not very consistent. I wouldn't buy that. Wouldn't buy anything else. But Norma and Lapua and Peterson and ADG are the only brass brands I would buy. I don't even like Hornady. I've loaded Hornady brass, brand new brass, to below max specs in 6.5 Creedmoor and had a case neck split. So
I have not been impressed with the 7 PRC brass, which is Hornady brass. I just haven't been too impressed with it. But it's not terrible, but it's not great either.
No. And like I said, I've got a bunch of this. I got out of this box that Chook gave me, I got 3 rounds left. So I was going to load the rest of these up, and should be good for one-time reloads anyway. See if I can.
I know you've already kind of covered this, but I was missing it with poor internet. But I hate nickel-plated brass for reloading. Do you?
I don't mind it. It depends on who's making it. Again, Federal has actually done very well for me. The Hornady stuff, not so much. The Underwood brass, I don't know who makes it. The Underwood brass has done really well in 10 millimeter for me. So the Barnes brass, it's not great. So and his comments on Starline brass. Starline brass is good too. Like my 308 Starline brass loads are really good. Like and it's cheaper than Lapua, ADG, and Peterson on average too. And but if you do buy some of their match grade brass, it does get kind of into those price ranges, but not quite. So, but yeah, Starline brass is really good. I've done several of my weighing the brass and weighing the bullets shorts with Starline brass, and it works really, really well. It was very consistent. So 6 brass is pretty good, especially in 10 millimeter. More room in the case. That's another way. So,
yeah, the 6.8 Western is technically a smaller case. They shortened it a little bit to be a little different from 270 WSM.
How do you like the SIG 10 millimeter factory performance wise? The full metal jacket stuff is great. The V Crown jacketed hollow point stuff, it will shed its jacket and separate if you send it fast enough. So if you got a G40 with a 6.5 inch barrel, you're gonna send it fast.
Hey, yeah. Chuck, sorry to be so sporadic, but I do got to put my kids to bed. So if you're still on, I'll try to come back on. I just got to put them to bed real quick.
Yeah, no problem. So
okay, see ya.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, yeah, Starline brass is great. I forgot all about them when I was mentioning them, and they've even sent some to the channel, so which is also good. So, yeah, I would definitely use Starline brass. So, I've never had an issue with horrible neck splits with nozzle brass, and I load pretty like my nozzle brass is pretty good stuff. I've loaded 270, I've loaded 300 Win Mag, I've loaded 7 Mag, I've loaded what is it? 65x284 Norma. I've never had an issue with nozzle brass. It's not as accurate as my Lupua brass. It's still sub MOA. So, any thought on the new Taurus TH10 10mm? You haven't watched my channel. Taurus is absolute junk. Don't buy one. All right. That gun jammed on me, dropped the magazine out, failed to reset the trigger. And I knew it would be that way because every Taurus I've ever touched has been junk. I've sent many revolvers back working from behind the counter where you closed it and could spin the cylinder and the cylinder wouldn't lock. I've seen frames split from regular ammo. I've seen tons of jams and stovepiping. I've got a video on it. Just look up the video. It says the Taurus TH10 Taurus is still trash. Yeah. So Taurus is no offense, I don't know your financial situation, but Taurus is a bad gun for the poors. There are better guns out there for the poors, but yeah. So bunch have dented necks, brand new. Ooh, that's not good, especially for the price that you picked them up for. So that's not good. So yeah, no offense. If you get one and it runs great, I'm happy for you, but don't put 200 grain buffalo bore or 200 grain underwood in it. You're gonna Taurus is absolute trash. So I will say that again and again and again. So sorry about that. Rossi is trash too. Yeah. I'll talk more about that later. So anyway, guys, I am gonna have to get out of here and get off. My family just got home. So guys, God bless. Take care. Hopefully y'all have learned something, and I've learned something in this chat. So thank you very much for watching. Godspeed and good hunting. Y'all have a good night. All right. I've got to get out of here. It's been an hour and 11 minutes. So we'll talk to you later. Y'all take care. We have a video coming out tomorrow on 308 Winchester and Federal Terminal Ascent. So Godspeed, good hunting. Y'all take care. Yes, Brad. Glock over the others.